Hi, good afternoon. Today I'd like to talk to you about the TAKAMAZ model XT-6. Now TAKAMAZ, as you probably know, are all made in Japan, and all they do basically is automated turning. Now the XT-6 machine, let me start you over here basically where we start over. So basically the design of this machine is such that we have the in-feed conveyor here for the blank parts. So you put your blank parts here. You can see it has adjustable guides that'll adjust to the different part diameters. Now this machine, the way it's set up with the in and out feed conveyors, is basically designed for parts about 2 3/4 inch diameter, maybe up to about 5 inches in part length, is about the capacity of how this particular XT-6 machine is set up. Now you can see here we have an example of a rotary accumulation table here for finished parts. Again, the finished parts are coming out on the back side here, basically coming down to the in-feed. And basically what we can do is we can add, for blank parts, we can add a bowl feeder here, and we can track feed the parts down to the in-feed conveyor. Now, that allows you to really bulk feed the blank parts. You can put a lot of parts in there. And with the newer bowl feeder situations too, we can also orientate the part. If you needed radial orientation or end-for-end orientation, we can also do that now through the bowl feeders as well. So it's pretty flexible. So that's one of the ideas of the material handling there. The XT-6 machine, box weigh, hand scraped, all in Japan, and all the automation is designed. Let me talk to you a little bit about that. TAKAMAZ doesn't take a standard lathe and basically add the automation. What they do is they think about the kind of parts, the length, the diameter, the kind of cutting process that you might do, and then they design the machine based on that particular criteria. Now this machine is designed for fast loading, unloading, along with a very, very fast system cycle time. So the way that they achieve that in this particular case is, you notice by moving the parts on an in-feed conveyor, we can actually get the parts very, very close to the chuck. So let me just show you this here a little bit for the distance. So the blank parts and the finished parts are about here, and the chuck is about here. That's only about 8 inches. That means that loader has a very short distance to have to move as far as loading and loading, as opposed to having to take the part way out the other side of the machine with different types of material handling over here. So it really lends itself to really very fast cutting time, fast process time, and fastest overall tack time. So let me talk to you a little bit about the machine itself. The XT-6 is an A25 spindle, 10 horsepower. Now I've been starting to bring the machines in standard with the 12-station turret. We can also get this machine with a 12-station live tool turret with C-axis, and also a tailstock option is available as well with this machine. So very, 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 very flexible machine. Uses the new FANUC 0i TF Plus control, and all of the loader functionality is all integrated into the FANUC. So it's all very accessible, uses all the new software from TAKAMAZ embedded in, and all of the loader programs, which are simple teach point programs, very simple and easy to teach somebody to do, are all embedded into the FANUC control with the cutting program. So it's all very, very well integrated into the machine. So let's go around and talk now a little bit about the loading and loading. So I'm going to let it go through that function there. You were coming up and it's going to pick up a new blank. Now you see this is the shutter. Now normally the door is closed. I'm just having it open for it. So the shutter opens up, come down, we're unloading a finished part, loading a blank part, coming back up, and dropping off a finished part and picking up a new blank part. So very, very fast. We can get about 4 seconds load and load time with this particular configuration. And you'll notice that there's a lot of area there for the chips to fall into. There's nothing that'll hang up the chips. So the chips fall straight down, and that's the chip conveyor there, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit further later. But it's really, really good for chip management. In addition, you may notice, I don't know if you can see here, but we also offer air blow and flood coolant at the chuck as well for any kind of getting any kind of chips off of the chuck and so on. So let me take you over to the other side of the machine now. This is very, very unique. I have to show you this. You'll notice here that we have a turn device, and we call that a YS turn device. You might notice that it's picking the part up here, turning it, and then we flip it that way as well. What that does is that allows you, if you want to do a 1020 part, even though it's only a single spindle, single turret. Now let me explain a little bit more about that. So this part here is an example. This part started off at the same diameter. So basically what we did is we chucked on the OD, came in and did face, OD, chamfer, and we drilled the hole. Then basically take the part over to this turn device and essentially flip the part around. And again, we can chuck on that same diameter and come in there and do the other side, face, OD, and then we're going to be tapping all the way through. So that's a standard part that we could do as an example to do a 1020 process. So really, really a great option to be able to have, especially on a machine of the with this kind of a cost of the machine. If you don't want to spend the money, or you don't have the part runs or whatever, in order for a twin spindle, twin turret machine, you can actually do, as I mentioned, a finished 1020 part, providing you can clamp on the same diameter with just a single spindle, single turret machine. So let me take you now around the back of the machine. I want to show you what else comes with the machine. So it includes the torqueoid pump. The torqueoid pump is high pressure. It's about 300 PSI. And again, I always include spindle through coolant. Spindle through coolant is really important because if you're doing any ID cutting, you're going to get chips into the part, maybe chips into the draw tube or into the collet. That spindle through coolant is great to get that chips right out of there. So the spindle through coolant is very, very important. Now the torqueoid pump also is M-code activated to the turret and also to the spindle through. So you can actually direct your high pressure coolant by M-code to either spindle through or to the turret, or both if you want to need them at the same time. Chip conveyor comes with machine, hinge type, comes out the back side. Very, very compact machine. Come around the back front, let me show you the compactness. This is probably only about 5 feet wide, but don't mistake that for not having rigidity. We do a lot of hard turning with this machine, and again, let me tell you again, it's boxway design, hand scraped in Japan, extremely rigid little machine, and as I mentioned to you, a very, very fast integrated machine.